CC to 10 David on TAC 1, prepare to copy emergency traffic. SWAT units 4-2 Adam and 5 David responding code 2 to rally on junction of Pilchard Street and Ferry Avenue, high risk warrant service.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is TweaK and today what we're going to be doing is going over a lot of the frequently asked questions for the upcoming game Ready or Not. In this video we're also going to include a lot of the clips that the developers have leaked along with some of the screenshots, and it's mostly going to be going over a lot of the stuff that the developers have commented on and a lot of the questions asked by the community that the developers have shared with us up until this point. So for those of you out there that don't know what Ready or Not is, it is a tactical first-person shooter developed by Void Interactive, which places you in the boots of an elite SWAT team tasked with defusing hostile and confronting situations in intense claustrophobic environments. It's set in a nondescript modern America, where an income disparity between the classes has become unsustainable and the country has been plunged into havoc. In Ready or Not, players will bring order to chaos with up to 8 players in cooperative play, battle enemy squads in a close player versus player environment, or command AI in a striking single-player mode. Though it bears no affiliation with the SWAT video game franchise, many fans regard Ready or Not as a spiritual successor to SWAT 4. According to an interview with Void, people who purchase and play Ready or Not will undoubtedly agree that it is one of the most fun and challenging games they have ever played. It will include beautiful and carefully constructed music and cinematics that will appeal to all of the senses. The game will be variable in pace depending on the scenario, from fast to eerily slow as the police and aggressors plan their next move. We believe that Ready or Not will also deliver a great personal entertainment experience for those wishing to simply enjoy watching others play or create unique mod experiences. Void is an international team of currently 12+ talented individuals with experience at different levels across other game titles. Dedicated to work to deliver Ready or Not as a tactical masterpiece, able to stand on its own, it was incorporated in New Zealand, but also has members from other parts of the world such as Australia, Italy, Germany, and the United States of America. The team is using the latest 3D scanning, motion capture, and engine technology in order to provide the best experience they could possibly engineer. These developers are taking their time with the development of Ready or Not. They don't want to release, a shoddy half-finished product. They want to release their game when it's ready. And when they feel it's ready, you guys will get a date. So now we're going to dive into the frequently asked questions, and hopefully this will give you guys a little bit more information. First, how many different editions of Ready or Not will be available for purchase? They have said there will be 2 different editions, but the specific bonuses for the pre-order of each will be announced whenever the pre-orders go live. The future paid DLC of Ready or Not will consist in new expansion packs with massive amounts of content. The idea is to go all in and bring a ton of new things to the game with each paid DLC that they release. Not just 1 to 2 maps or a new character. There will be plans for unpaid content along the way. There's plenty of room to expand on the setting and world of Ready or Not, so the developers are hoping they will have the option to do so as well. It has also been stated that there won't be any in-game store for cosmetics, only for expansions when the time comes. There won't be any sort of loot box system either. The only store will be the merchandise store on Void's website, where Ready or Not related merchandise will be available for purchase. Ready or Not will indeed feature weapon skins, but not just any kind of weapon skins. All of the weapon skins included will be realistic and something a Leo would use in real life. Players will not find any kind of extravagant or out-of-place skins, as can be the case in other shooters. So far, as current testing goes, Ready or Not will run very well in a very wide spectrum of computers, from average systems to high-end ones, depending on, of course, the selected graphical options. What engine does Ready or Not use? It uses Unreal Engine 4. On what platforms will Ready or Not be available? So, Windows version will come first, releasing on Steam, and depending on the success of the game, Void may port the game to consoles. Will Ready or Not's multiplayer servers be dedicated or peer-to-peer? Dedicated. The code responsible for Ready or Not's networking is all done in the engine itself, Unreal Engine 4. While the developers do have some control over how the game is networked, it's mostly based on Unreal's networking protocol. Void is still taking very special care of ensuring the game runs as optimized as possible, both in terms of frame rate and network bandwidth usage. So now we're going to move on to some questions about their animation system. How are Ready or Not's animations recorded and processed? So Void uses high-end optical motion capture cameras used on titles such as Star Citizen and Metal Gear Solid 5 to record and process the vast amount of animations to be implemented in Ready or Not. These tools are being used to their maximum ability, meaning that facial motion capture and truly long and gruesome animations are being recorded and worked on. The results so far have proven to be incredible, with a high frame rate output and minimal cleanup. The team aims to make the game world feel as real as it can be, with a variety of new artistic features. Every animation is created at 240 FPS, and the weapon models have been rigged so that they loosely shake and jolt in the appropriate locations during gunfire. This is inspired heavily by Killing Floor 2 and their first-person animations. Procedural animations have also been introduced into the workflow. Animations are layered with a random node-based system, which creates a very realistic and very unpredictable method of shake when an officer fires rapidly. These can be adjusted based on the weapon, its weight, and the attachments that have been placed on it, as well as the officer condition. A lot of animations are a mix of active, or rather slightly rigid, ragdoll and root motion. The team has also stated that they aim to have better animations than both Killing Floor 2 and Escape from Tarkov. Void's method for creating the game textures involves laser scanning firsthand and then texturing by hand afterwards. Modding is totally welcome, although currently planned as a post-release feature. It will include support for user-created maps and missions, along with custom items and sounds. Will Ready or Not feature VR at launch? Nope. Will Ready or Not be more like SWAT 4 or Rainbow Six Siege? Void's sights are set on establishing a really solid single-player / co-op experience, but without forgetting all of the fun times we had in SWAT 4 multiplayer. Void has stated that they enjoy and wish to deliver a slower-paced tactical game where you need more than just a quick trigger finger. In Ready or Not, players will need to be slow, methodical in order to complete objectives. Gameplay is very full-on when players are in combat, but it requires patience in order to succeed. In regards to Siege, Void has simply stated that each popular game has its merits. All in all, Ready or Not strives to be more like SWAT 4 than Siege. Additionally, the developers have previously stated that Ready or Not's gunplay, although described as its own thing, can be referred as a hint of squad, a dash of fear, and just a pinch of insurgency. So Void has a number of advisors with real experience in SWAT, military, police, tactics, and firearms, and do a significant amount of research themselves to ensure that they are getting the details correctly. Void also aims to highlight the engineering and design brilliance of organizations who produce fit-for-purpose, exceptional, lethal and non-lethal weapons and tools that assist law enforcement officers around the globe to restore or maintain public order. Given the graphic nature of the game and the gritty realism it portrays, the game is for mature audiences. We will also strongly recommend that people who have experienced personal traumatic events from criminal violence, hostage situations, or terrorism refrain from playing. At its core, the game honors the work of dedicated law enforcement officers around the world and in no way intends on glorifying cowardly criminal acts. So Ready or Not is going to be a very, very hardcore experience when it comes to these subject matters. It seems like if you want a really honest and brutal take on comparable events from real life, it would seem that these guys are going to go that route. They want you to feel something when you play this. Screams will definitely be in the game. Big, blood-curdling ones. Anti-cheat. Will there be a third-party software protecting Ready or Not from cheaters? Yes, BatLie or EAC. Will Ready or Not have a supported competitive scene in the future? If it gets large enough on its own, then perhaps it could, but Void isn't making esports a priority. We're going to move on to the general gameplay mechanics section of the video, where we are going to talk about some of the equipment and some other cool things that we're going to be finding within the world of Ready or Not. So we're moving on to weapons and gear. Suppression will be purely an audio-visual thing. Void doesn't believe in impairing the player's skills based on suppression. Accessories require an appropriate rail or mounting interface. A point mechanic will limit the accessories which can be equipped simultaneously. Although it's expected that hosts can disable the limit, accessories do not require unlocking. Customizable accessories we've seen include optics, muzzle brakes, sound suppressors, magazines, and stocks. It's early yet, and these accessories are subject to change. Of course, guys, you just got to remember that everything that I'm talking about in this video is subject to change. Game's still in development, still being worked on. Anything that I have set up until this point is subject to change. So just know that, everything may not stay 100% accurate forever. There will be less lethal weapons. These include flashbangs, stingers, CS grenades, beanbag shotgun rounds, pepper sprays, pepper guns, tasers. Grenades can be thrown overhand or underhand, and the effect can be mitigated by devices such as gas masks and ballistic shields. Particles also create a very dusty and smoky environment for the team, similar to real life. Certain grenades can also be launched via a grenade launcher. Players can equip CS tear gas, for those of you that don't know, or launch them via grenade launcher. If the target does not have a gas mask, they will be affected by it. Players who walk in without a gas mask will suffer progressively worse effects until they are forced to cough and wheeze and become stunned. Stunned players can be arrested in PvP mode. So we got another list here of some of the other gear that we can expect to see. So other gear includes armor, optiwans, door wedges, multi-tools, night vision equipment, flashlights, and chem lights. Items spawned by the tactical analysis and planning phase include ballistic shields, heavy rams, telescopic ladders. So players will be able to breach doors using a heavy ram, breaching shotguns, lockpicks, and maybe breaching charges such as C2s. Will AI be capable of wearing night vision equipment? Yes. Players can give their officers NVGs and they'll use them. How does the ballistic shield work? It's a deployable item where players can purchase this at the beginning of the mission. Players can pick it up and drop it at will. Generally, the shield bearer is both a role that players may or may not want to be. They will definitely feel the weight of using it, but it is very terrifying and loud when a bullet hits it, as it should be. Will players be able to pick up the shield dropped by their teammates? Yes. As players progress through the campaign, the players' team's funding will go up, allowing them to use that funding for gearing up more effectively and prepare themselves better for operations. This also applies to missions that have already been completed, so players can replay the mission with the gear that they've obtained after being funded. Will there be a training mode where players can practice? Yes. What ammunition will Ready or Not feature? Shotguns have the option of slugs, buckshot, beanbags, and breaching rounds, depending on the shotgun and its supported ammo types. Rifles and pistols have FMJ and hollow point options. Caliber and ammunition choices are consequential. For example, both will affect armor penetration. Will there be usable snipers or playable sniper roles? Snipers will be a selectable tactical option during the planning phase for co-op and single player, and might be a usable option in multiplayer too. This is still under discussion. Snipers won't be AI. Players will be able to control them in-game through their usable tablets. If there's no melee interaction, what happens when players run out of ammo? Players will be allowed to use squad points to purchase and rearm and possibly allow more mags. So they've confirmed that there is no melee weapons in the game. Will battering rams open doors in one hit? Different doors have different integrity levels, which will affect how resilient they are. Can the battering ram damage someone who is on the other side of a door? Yes. Contacts won't have realistic function like they do in real life. They're just cosmetic. All of the items equipped will contribute to the player's overall weight, which in turn affects their mobility. However, this doesn't affect any weapon handling, only maximum speed. Will there be different levels of armor? Yes, there are currently 2, heavy and light, as well as some more specific adjustments players can make. There is also the option to have a helmet with an extra layer of protection, if the player desires. Will players be able to customize the loadout of their teammates, similar to SWAT 4? Yes. Will there be armor degradation? Yes, armor does have an integrity level. Will there be weapon degradation in Ready or Not? No, there will not be weapon degradation, nor jamming or overall malfunction issues with the weapons. So we're moving on to an entirely new section here where we're going to talk about the damage and destruction and the breachability of rounds through walls and certain surfaces. So how will environmental destruction work? Doors can be breached, destroyed, and shattered. Windows also break in quite a realistic manner too. Currently, when you shoot near an object, it will kick up extra smoke, similar to how Squad does it. You won't be able to make holes in walls with bullets. You'll just see bullet holes, exceptions being glass, and maybe in the future, the corners of certain walls. How will bullet penetration work? There is bullet penetration for certain physical materials, those being wood, brick, ceramic, dirt, flesh, water, amongst others. When it comes to armor, Ready or Not implements the concept of convex collision armor. Armor's collision is calculated based on the mesh coverage on the player, allowing for accurate levels of realistic ballistic protection. Will overpenetration be featured in the game? Yes, overpenetration is in the game and depends on many different factors, mostly the player's choice and equipment. Can lethal weapons incapacitate? If the target is hit in the right places, yes they can. How precisely will players be able to shoot without having to use their sights? There's a cone that affects your character's hip aim based on movement, but it's entirely possible to make accurate hits while on the move, though definitely way more difficult than if the character were to aim and shoot. This is for the sake of slowing down the gameplay. Will all headshots be fatal? Some headshots will be survivable, but it's a very rare occurrence. Will there be a health recovery system? No. There is no healing, no reviving, no carrying hurt teammates, nothing. When you're hit, you're hit. When you're downed, you're downed. Will Ready or Not have friendly fire? Yes, it will have friendly fire. Hosts of games may be able to disable this, namely for PvP. Is there falling damage in Ready or Not? Yes, there is. Will there be any knockdown mechanic in the game? Nope. As we spoke about earlier, there is no knockdown mechanics. How will adrenaline affect a character's body after they've been shot? Ready or Not tries to emulate how real combat works. So for example, if an enemy is 5 seconds away from passing out, he still may be a threat to the player and their team. How will suppressors work in Ready or Not? Suppressors increase the muzzle velocity of the weapons it attaches to. It will suppress your gun's fire, but the real takeaway is that the lack of a flash will ultimately lead to it working better with nods. Will Ready or Not have teammate cams as SWAT 4 did? Yes. Will Ready or Not have controllable vehicles? Only drones will be controllable. Will Ready or Not feature helicopters of any kind? Yes. There will be helicopters, but players won't be able to control them. Will the field of view be adjustable? Yes, it will. Will there be HUD crosshairs? No. Will there be free look? Yes, there will. Will every key be rebindable? Yes. There's a bit of operator customization, such as customizing the character's helmet, their eyewear, and their patch or emblem, which is displayed on the operator's arm, for example. Players can upload their own patches. Also, as the game expands, different looking officers will appear depending on where they're going. Will players be able to perform arrests stealthily? Players will be able to sneak around the AI and make arrests that way, but it won't be easy. Will Ready or Not feature animals, such as dogs? Yes. Will players be able to go prone? Nope. Will there be vaulting? Vaulting is not currently in the game, but is very likely to be added. Will AI be able to dynamically lean and crouch? Yes. Will players be able to draw on the map during the pre-planning phase of missions, similar to how Payday 2 does it? Yes, players will be able to draw on the map during those pre-planning phases. Will lockpicking involve a minigame? Nope. Will there be VoIP? Yes, there will be VoIP. Will players be able to look over or under objects? Yes, there will be a high stand to look over objects, the low crouch to look under things, as well as lean left and right. Will Ready or Not feature a replay viewer? And yes, there will be a replay viewer in the game. What game modes will Ready or Not have? Ready or Not will include single player co-op PvP modes. Co-op involves you and your friends playing against AI while you progress through the single player story, while multiplayer involves you and your friends playing against another group of players. Will there be a permadeath mode for the single player campaign? Yes, and it'll apparently be unlockable after completing the single player campaign. It'll also possibly be available for co-op as well. They're saying currently there are designs for over 10 levels. All of them are intended to be included in the game on release. In terms of weather and time of day, the developers confirmed that missions playing out during the day, night, and dusk, all depending on the call of nature. So yes, there will be different weathers, and the game will obviously include a fair share of both open and closed maps. Okay, so I think I've covered pretty much all of the most important points from the frequently asked questions section. So hopefully this is all the information that you guys are going to want to hear before the podcast, which is happening tonight at 10 o'clock EST or 3 a.m. UK time. So wherever you are in the world, make sure to set your clocks and make sure that you've got your time zones correct. It'll be happening at twitch.tv/Clean, K-L-E-A-N. He is hosting the podcast along with two of the developers from Ready or Not, Donut Operator and myself. It is also going to be on the Twitch front page. Make sure you don't miss it, because a lot of the information that I've gone over in this video is likely going to be clarified on the podcast, and a lot more juicy details are likely going to be leaked as well, along with some footage that we've likely never seen before. So if you've made it to the very end of the video, I appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully a lot of you guys found this video informative. If you would like to leave a comment telling me about some of the stuff that you guys would like to see in Ready or Not, please feel free to leave a comment. More importantly as well, if you guys want to stay up to date with Ready or Not, I will leave a link to the Black Site Discord in the description. This is where you're going to find the latest and greatest information on Ready or Not as soon as it comes out. We're working very closely with Void on the development of this game, and some very exciting things are going to be happening in the future with regards to Ready or Not, Void Interactive, and us. So I would suggest that you join that Discord and make sure that you just make sure you keep an eye on the little Ready or Not section there. There's going to be some cool stuff coming up. You're not going to want to miss it. So guys, thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I will see you guys at the podcast tonight. Everybody have a fantastic evening, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.
911 emergency.